When you're working in SQL Server Management Studio, you'll often want to edit multiple lines of code in the same way. So let's say, for example, somebody sent you a query like this one, and they've made some questionable decisions about how to lay out the code. For example, they've put the on part of each join on a separate line. I much prefer to have the on and the join on the same line. Even worse than that, they've added commas at the end of column names in the select list, and I much prefer to have my commas at the beginning of each column name. Now we could solve those problems one by editing each line individually, but that's a bit long-winded and tedious. So instead, we can activate multiple cursors in the same script and edit all the lines at the same time. I'm just going to show the on-screen keyboard so you can see which keys I'm pressing at which time. I'm going to start by clicking at the beginning of the first on, and then hold down the Control and the Alt keys. I can then click at any other position in the same script to activate a cursor in that position. Then releasing the Control and Alt keys, I can then just make the edits I want. I'll hit backspace a few times and then add in a space as well. Once you've finished editing in multiple positions, you can simply click away from that to deactivate all those active cursors. So we can then use the same trick to edit the positions of the commas. If I click at the end of line number 2, hold down Control and Alt again, and then click at the end of each of the other lines, release those keys on the keyboard, and then backspace once. Now I want to replace those commas at the beginning of lines 3 to 7. And this is a bit easier to do because I want to activate a cursor in exactly the same position on multiple lines. I can click at the beginning of line number 3 and then this time hold down Shift and Alt. I can then just click at the beginning of line number 7 and that'll activate a cursor in the same position on all the lines in between. So now I can type in a single comma, job done. You could also use this technique as an alternative to find replace. So let's say, for example, I want to make all of my inner joins into left outer joins. If I click at the beginning of line number 10, hold down Shift and Alt, and then click at the beginning of line number 13, I can then just edit the word inner to say left outer instead. Job done. So there you go, a simple little keyboard shortcut trick to hopefully save time editing code in SQL. Thanks for watching. See you next time.